Fáilte rascadí how to scéal agus mar soldíh tá míadna a gobar le fáilte Ireland chun cabhrú libh éire a eiscint ar clí lá nua. Keep discovering one short break at a time. Mar bhfuil is go bhéh tá an saoire hart ach ná bí cí búrtha. Mar there's still loads to explore and a short break in Ireland.
And autumn is a stunning time to get out and about. Take away discoverireland.ie for ideas for your next adventure. Agus má tá tú ag smaoinmh ar city break le lena nóir Kilkenny shines in the autumn, can I just say. Lena frádanna starúla agus an atmosphere breather. It's a place full of character that's perfect for a short break.
Sinead, no más mála a bheith an muith faoin air. Well, there is still time, lads, to get out and enjoy the bright evenings and to soak up nature's beauty. You could visit the Slieve Bloom mountain bike trails. I love an old bike myself. Roghnaímid trína caiilte agus buinteanna of us as áilecht an dúlar san nóir.
Or do you know what? If the West is calling you even now, Galway has the perfect blend of coast and culture. On the cloddy álinge gotí tricolour culture and the cairr. It's a place that feels alive in every season.
The West is always calling me, I have to say.
The West awake!
But your next break is just a short click away. Visit discoverireland.ie and keep discovering Ireland.
Sinead, chuinnig ar a bheith ach tríocht an éireann. Colleen, did you know if you're aged between 25 and 65, well, you can get a free HPV cervical check. It's one of the best ways to protect yourself from cervical cancer.
And you know what? I actually checked only recently when mine was due, and no exaggeration, it took me less than 5 minutes.
Go on, Miss To-Do List.
That's me.
Well, can I show you, Doireann, just how easy it is, right?
Okay.
You open your phone, you go online to hse.ie/cervical check, put in your PPS number, stick in the date of birth, and then they tell you when your next appointment is due.
Oh my God,
I know.
that's unreal.
And you can check you're on the register on the website, or you can phone 1-800 45 45 55.
Do you know, that is so straightforward, but we tend to put these things on the long finger.
We do. And it is worth saying, girls, even if you've had a normal screening test, you just shouldn't ever ignore the signs of cervical cancer, such as bleeding in between your periods or bleeding after sex. Call your GP right now if that's the case.
Yeah, aici, le decor, listen to your body. You know it better than anyone. Empower yourself.
If your test is due today, you can book today or hse.ie/cervical check.
Agus fáilte go how to scéal an tatan seo lumsa Louise.
Agus lumsa Doireann.
Agus ní leon síbhilinn tá siar leanta sira.
Fuck that bitch. She's over in Spain getting another tan that's going to keep her fit through the winter. I'm telling you.
Topping up the bronzeness.
She is so annoying. She glows.
Yeah.
In the like so green.
Yeah.
You know, replying to a couple of the Instagram stories, like, honest to God, where'd she get it?
I know,
like,
she's a goddess. I think actually Erin on green, it's like it is her. She's in her natural habitat. Agus green.
I think so. Like ní Erin and green them so new this. We're kind of more cold creatures.
We'd be faoi now. That's
yeah,
the
totally.
I love the idea of it, but the reality is there'd be sweat dripping.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We'd be cranky and sticky.
Oh, absolutely. And I just get the longer I am in a hot climate, I can feel myself getting uglier by the day. It's desperate. You know, I start to bloat. You know, I just
Shiva just like radiates an air of like goddess when she's fingering.
Anyway, look, we don't need to big her up anymore because I'm sick to the teeth of doing it. But anyway,
I know. Tá sí Ireland accords though, and I have to say, nothing seems more wholesome than a friend's holidays when there's no weddings, no ócáidí, and it's just a good old-fashioned sira.
Oh, it's more true because ní hardly in chat on a vinnic the length of show, but I had one on Doireann the show. Yeah, and actually, chogas we were our length sira le machara ella shiva cairr mór le mo vi mer in our neagori. And well, two gas things. First is Moontory Shiva, right? And she rálam like she ginch this in the Moontory ella our skull. She's like, oh, I'm going off my friend there and we're doing this like it's an ad thing, so it's all free or whatever. And she's this is great, like we were gonna have this deadly weekend, and her friend is like, oh, and who's that? And she's like, oh, Doireann, she like is a broadcaster, has this podcast. And she's like, oh my God,
this
is that
podcast?
This podcast. Yeah.
That you were on the road with.
And she goes, yeah, did you were on the road with? And then she goes, oh my God, is that how to scéal? And she was like, yeah. And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, did she teach in Pats for a couple of years? And I did in a previous life when I was still doing my PhD. And she was like, yeah. And she's like, oh yeah. No, she's like, all of my friends were terrified of her.
Oh.
Right? Because
apparently
I went in my first day teaching them and I was like, I'm absolutely disgusted at the standard of Irish here.
That's what they say. You have to go in firm.
No, well, firstly, I was like, Joe, I was disgusted by the standard of Irish, but I feel really bad about that now, like that they still remember that. But anyway, I do think that, you know, we're adults and you have to call things out, and you know,
100%.
anyway, I
I'm
don't know if I put the skids up on anybody to improve the Gaeilge, but
I also think
they
that
remember
was
me for being a wagon.
Yeah, but if you're on an óg Múna Chomh, like your queen lived near Viamar Jane of our show bio a
Yeah.
you met some of my past pupils and they were like, we used to call her Miss because she was an awful witch. Yeah, but vi me crusta.
I know.
Vi arm ve crusta.
No, totally.
I was like Fehénig Múna Nortesh.
I
They were
know.
about 2 years younger than me.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Cho fear. But
Yeah.
I just, and like, if you miss a Cuig and I'm Grandma Moona in DCU, and they were only like a year or two younger than me. But I was like, God, like I can actually imagine myself going and be like, I am absolutely disgusted by the standard of Irish here. Do you know what I mean?
And I also think agus too, like Feicúig, Fehéin, Feicúig, you think you're ní sinna.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I know, and like you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Like so, I mean now.
God.
Anyway, the poor old divils. But I have a great story for you.
Yeah,
right.
go on.
Next thing, if you Mahana Gashiva Erntly, we're going to go and record a
So
bit.
we should be Roscommon as well.
We're at Roscommon.
Sexy,
We had a fucking gorgeous weekend. I'm going to share loads of bits about it, but it was really, really deadly. And it's really my kind of weekend. Yeah, because we were just sitting in pubs, talking to the locals and all the, like, you know, just pure chatting. You wouldn't really get that along, like maybe more the mainstream places because there's so many tourists around and whatever. But we were in and we, exactly. But anyway, on the Sunday morning, we were driving up along the main road between Banlock and Ballyhonus, and the next thing, the car broke down. Right,
oh, no,
and we're
the
right. I obviously famously have no car at the minute, so I was actually driving my dad's car. I borrowed it, right, and he's.
You have no luck with cars.
No, it's a disaster. And my parents are abroad for the next while, so they weren't using their car, so I just took it, and then.
Shite.
Right, so we broke down, and I didn't want to ring my dad when he was abroad and tell him that his car broke down because he'd be up the walls and all the rest, and he'd be like, you know, where? So it was 11 o'clock, and we were due to be down at this sauna kind of forest trail thing at 12. And I rang the AA Road Watch, and they were like, it's going to be at least an hour and a half. And we rang all the local garages, not a bit, nobody picked up, nothing. We were miles away from anything. So
because it was
absolutely I was like, this is gonna have to be towed.
Abandoned ship.
Yeah. So Hulmerstach Gadi on Shrod Valley and Banlock. No, there's not much there now, like a couple of pubs and a filling station out the opposite side, and that's it.
Okay.
So we went in, one of the pubs there was a bit of hustle and bustle. So in we went anyway, and we were chatting away to the locals and told them, listen, this is the bother. And they were like, geez, that's desperate. So fair play to them, good Roscommon people. They started making a few phone calls for me. I was making phone calls. We we were there over an hour. We get into AA Road Watch, or not Road Watch, but recovery. And they're like, oh, it's going to be another 2 hours and 45 minutes. It was just, we were like, we're in the horrors. Shiva has to get back to work tomorrow. I had to be in work tomorrow. All the rest. We were like, okay. So eventually we rang a tow truck from Mayo to come and recover us in Banlock, bring us back to Ballyhonus, and then we were going to have to wait for, they said the trains weren't even going from Ballyhonus to Dublin because there was roadworks going on in Athlone. So it was, we were just up, so we were going to have to wait for a bus. It was just the horrors, right? So anyway, we're still ringing all around and local people, and eventually one of the young lads in the pub, fair play to him, 11 o'clock in the morning, a couple of pints deep, calls out to have a look at the car and was like, have a look. And he was like, I can do nothing for you, but let me, you know, he rang a couple of people. One of the men that he rang was a Polish man who came out, and he came out with his girlfriend. It's just lovely, and had a look, and he was like, the car is fucked. He was like, it's gearbox. Anyway, all the rest. Next thing, anyway, one way or another, we got in touch with a local young lad who's kind of handy with the cars, into the rally driving. Diarmuid was his name. And he came to, he said, look, I'll try call down to you in 45 minutes. And we'd all be giving up. We were waiting on the tow truck. Anyway, Diarmuid comes down, has a look at the car under the bonnet. Within 10 minutes, she was driving like she never drove before.
Now, Diarmuid, oh.
Now, we were, and that, like,
needs a Diarmuid.
It was, we were like, you are our knight in shining armour.
More in flex now and like stuff, you know, like eyebrow mach machine, just to be able to know what you're looking for when you lift up the bonnet.
Jesus Christ. And I was like, it was a Sunday afternoon. He had much better things to be doing than to be looking at these two. But all of the people of Ballinlough, they made so many phone calls for us. They were calling all around. Every mechanic, I'd say, within a 20-mile radius had been called on the side. And, you know, it's here and there. Now, we won't be... And anyway, wasn't it just... But it just always pays.
Oh,
the connector rud, me cart, either on fuel, agus an inal. But it is always so worth. Like we could have sat there at the side of the road and waited for AA and been told and all the rest, and like we went into the pub and we met and chatted to the people, and they gave us a cup of tea and actually afterwards I went back and left a few bob behind the bar for the fella who had helped us. But like,
do you know what,
that is so worth it
though? And actually, like, so my granddad was a mechanic, came from a family, them dad's so handy, he's great at fixing cars, and it's Queen McFawson, is like, and if there was someone broken down the side of the road that wasn't bother, dad would be great to stop and to help. He always would have, like, as good karma. And it's Queen, I'm like, cúpla bliain hin, bhris mochor, car, she is. And I was pulled in. Do you know what used to go into? I had this car that used to go into, I think, called limp mode, right, where it would just stop driving, the accelerator would stop working. And it happened to me around Barack Obama Plaza, I taken like Aaron Mohert in. And didn't a lovely man stop? He noticed, again, like, just saw my distress at the side of the road, stopped, pulled in and sorted it out. So I think go Will Dini Maha amachan, so and they thought she down.
Thought she down. And I just couldn't get over, like, Maiden Downig. And the whole village was out to help. Anyway, it was really great. And just to get to meet people and chat to them. And anyway, it was great. So it was
actually... Diarmid must have go to Geishtecht.
There you go. Good Galway, man.
Belonging to Diarmid.
No.
Unreal. So other than the car trouble and Rev on a time with.
Oh, we had the best time. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Just really wholesome, lovely outdoor activities like lovely walks, kayaking, lovely meals, good hearty Irish
and
dinners.
Is this in the Hidden Heartlands?
It is Ireland. It is in the hidden heartlands of Ireland, actually, and it was it is, and like kind of giving a bit of love to those maybe lesser known areas. And it was the gang from Roscommon County Council. They organised a trip for us, and it was just it was lovely. It was really great, and we stayed in this beautiful big country estate. You'd have loved it, in one of their little cottages. And you know, the woman in the house, she had beautiful handmade biscuits for us, and like we came back, we went out for a beautiful meal.
Sorry, Rev Shivik Ryan Seomra, and you had two little.
The father, it slept 8, like there were loads of rooms, and we were like, no, sure, we're gonna go in together and have a chat, like, you know. But we went for a real lovely hearty Irish dinner and a bottle of wine, and then afterwards, you know, like we were like eating the homemade biscuits, watching a movie, an Irish movie, and we were like, you just can't beat the first fire of the year. It was great.
Oh my goodness,
go hauling.
Liscomon will my rag. This is actually Rod Moore. We will get to it in this episode, but H Bugger Stach in Tachnu Limnock. Yes, Neil Ain fireplace.
Okay, so
and it's more Toshishin, like, it doesn't sit well with me at all.
You are a fire girl.
I'm such a fire girl, and I'm such a stickler for tradition that I'm like, the fact now that makes me mochonach to so raw, like on the first fire of the season, and I'm like,
I know.
I don't get any of this electric shite or put on an owl fake flame. No, I think there's rather being as fire. I would do a fire any season, any time. If it's real, if there's turf, I'm in.
God, Louise, I think me and you need to move in together. We leave Declan the new build, and me and you can just be on either side of the windows crying into the atmos with. I think so. Yeah, loading up the fire with turf and rowing with each other. We'd be like the two spinster sisters. Yeah, you know, in our knits. Well, cradling back and forth.
Well, a rocking chair actually now is the very elite. I do like the idea of a rocking chair.
There you go. Okay, Jesus Christ.
With the motion of it all.
The art of it, the two Sean Van Vocht.
Shin and Rod. Well, I'm going to get straight stuck into all of that very shortly, because the bizarre things I have bought to decorate the current house I'm in will entertain you of all people, I feel. Okay, come on. Rimishin will cúpla fógraí le déanamh again.
Oh, by God, tá, because if you want to see Misha X Louise and our beautiful matching our knits, you gotta look full video. Tábhacht our full video, Marvy and Deganá, Tábhacht and son, and look, you want to get the full effect. So you do. Come on over,
and
guys.
shout out Ireland's Eye, and we're collabing Nicola Riv EP, and I will say safely that myself, yourself and Shiva haven't gotten out the cardigans.
Oh my God,
we're living it. We're betting.
It is our knit season. It is the fucking best time of year. This won't be off me now till after Bridget's Day anyway. St. Patrick's Day. It won't.
And it's kind of gas because like we're into being narrow and it's itchy, but I have to say go she'd Anna and Portach on us.
Yes, like, August Tashi ton quality unbelievable, but also I would never pick out like a big bright green cardigan like this myself. But because it's iron, I don't know how they can how attractive me out, you know.
It's a Limerick attraction.
It's a Limerick attraction. It's a Limerick thing.
Well, I'm delighted to will to Aisha because we're actually going to talk about colours, right? And this will come into Ep and a Shacht and show, but isn't it gas? Like that's something you'd say. I'd never choose a colour like this.
Yeah.
And then sicíocht save here sin.
Okay,
gas. So we're going to get to all of that. Fresh and Kaime Rog Willem with our Patreon. So if you would like to support this podcast, you can do that by subscribing on Patreon, where you get a bonus weekly episode. Your favourite eps on Patreon are always Doireann the Míos, aren't they?
I love the Doireann the Míos roundup now. So I'll have a good Doireann the Míos roundup for you this year, I hope, or this week,
She will, because this is Doireann's month. She's Miss Man for here. It's her
Oh,
birthday
I'm
Wednesday.
telling you, lads, the middle of the harvest, isn't it great to be here?
Are you aiagsúla the brella?
Oh, the mate, buzz all, really excited now. And because thought we have a little fun
excursion.
day, big excursion. Bhí Doireann dascam Doireann Cata. I'm gonna do Roscommon of winter, Chomh, and look, I mean, isn't it just a great time?
It's a valor to tie on Mlíana. I usually do birthday month, but I feel Mlíana tusatá day.
I am.
Yeah, you're doing your birthday month. I kind of just did a little birthday. I was up to no, it's a branch.
No, you were.
But you're dead right.
Yeah, you let Blian since your wedding, I don't think you've had a really big birthday.
No,
but I think this can be our shared birthday bash because Neil have had idring. So
we'll make that a thing and watch this space. Actually, must rather go to our Patreon. So we'll make Anna good dhearthóir how their Patreon behind the scenes of all these exciting things. We're egg Jane of.
Okay,
right. Let's get stuck into Táimhachtna seachtainna.
Pretty please.
Táimhachtna seachtainna an tachtain seo therein is how to decorate. Okay. Now, this is inspired by a shoot atá déanta gum leis on Irish Times. I can say it now, but it's going to come out there in a míosa. I've never felt as up to hide about ein rud riamh in my hale.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I kind of sold my soul, not to the devil, but to the Irish Times, to push my house agus teach nua atá going to live an bob here. And so to give you a little bit of background, right? Tá tig nua canna going to live and to sé nua. Now, rod fuamse na, I've never lived in a house that is nua or herb. If you like on taking a Dawsonius, that was an old house built in the 80s that my parents bought, right? So I feel like there's rud egg and thumbset that I love, and I love an old building. Older the better. I love a big window. I love if the walls could talk. Áit éigean lán le stair. Tá sin tábhacht thumbset. Agus ní raibh is a gum. Cé có tábhacht is a bhí sé go dtí gur thosaigh mé amach ag masú an tig nua atá going agus an tig nua aimsir atá going.
Gas. Because in fairness, nervy and me like see she's like Tommy, what we want to be when we grow up, etc. You always mention I wanted to live in an old house. Like you always say I want to live in an old house. So it is a real departure for you.
Like complete
180. So because it is like it's an odd specific thing to pull out, be like, when I grow up, I want to live in an old house. Like, so that's so simple.
Now, and also, obviously, there's a massive housing crisis on. By golly, and gosh, are we lucky to be able to fucking afford anything to live in?
100%.
So I do want to just check my privilege in saying that. But like, you know the way you do, you're right. When you're growing up, you're like, when I grow up, my dream house is, my dream whatever. For me, it always was a big old brick townhouse.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Agus níl sé sin atá going.
No. But in this climate, girl, that's it.
That's it. And aren't knock Lina, Tantálin and all of that, etc. So anyway, we're doing up the seomra that was going to be photographed, right? I was like, okay, essentially on Rud a Bhíonn was like a little white, square, clean box of a room.
Okay.
Agus chiapas mé sé anna éasca, mashkani and the ver, but then you're like, okay, but it needs to be reflective of my personality. It needs to be all of these things. Lads, tá sé cho decor. It's very fucking hard to decorate.
Really? Because you're so good though. Like really, see, I'm such a big picture sweeping whatever, whereas you are like have an eye for details.
Níl go anyway, but it got me delving into all sorts of psychology behind it, because I was like, cadtá mí cheart lumsa and céim fá nach féidir lum just a very instant seomra. You'll be sometimes, right? Does this ever happen to you? You get a feeling when you walk into a place.
Big time. Girl, we say it all the time.
The energy of a room.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so like if you walk into a room and don't feel anything.
Yeah. I know.
What's that
hard.
telling you?
I mean, yeah.
Where do you start a new creative process?
Yeah, simul.
Right?
Yeah.
So sin a bhí ag táirliúint dom. And I don't mean to sound like, again, really like this is so petty, obviously, but it's just really interesting, the psychology of it. And the amount of things that happened in the process. I'm like, it has been a psychological experience.
Oh no.
Okay? And I've become Anna Pishogach because I feel like, how do you decorate a seomra, let's just say, not even a whole house, but just seomra aháin I the higsa to represent yourself? I feel that's a massive job.
Céad fin géad. Now, you know me, I am what I have too much of is books and like art, and I love clutter. I love bits. I love that feeling of like, if I'd have a load of rugs and books and art around, and once I had that, I wouldn't care. Like low lights, lamps.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So you need the space to feel kind of like, for you, colour maximalist, bits and bobs.
Yes,
like
bits, exactly. I'm not a minimalist girl.
Yeah. Well, Misha and they were right.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of decorating anyway, like it goes way back in time. Obviously, since the dawn of time, people were drawing on the walls of caves.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Cave art, all of this. So we have always like expressed ourselves and like made our dwellings, you know, a reflection of what makes us safe, comfortable, happy. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're touching your mach, a blank canvas,
it
can be daunting. Do you know what I mean?
And also fucking spenny.
Honest Benny.
Yeah.
Honest Benny or fod.
Yeah.
It can be. So there was a couple of anyway. I have come from loads of different houses along the way, and the shite that I've collected over years all landed into this Boss Nua. And like I said, right, I've always been in an older kind of a buckety dark house, and all of a sudden I'm in this new light room and I've all these old stuff that just near and shit, right? So it's like, how do you make it work, and can you transform a space to make it? Can you make a Boss Nua?
Shan. Okay, simul.
So this doesn't task.
Do you feel like you're to ábalta sin dhéanamh?
Well, this will be begla feshcon. But I started with the first thing I did was, lads, got up to high dome, moving things up and down stairs. Didn't I break a mirror? A gigantic big mirror. This is in Tachton Rhythm of Rella. And I was like, okay, this is what I need now going into 32, like 7 fucking years bad luck, right? And it was on Schley in a Vrishay, right? It didn't just crack a small bit, it broke into smithereens. I mean, like
Louise.
The little particles into the carpet, the whole lot. And I was like, and it really affected me. And I was like, okay, this come Gwilym to Pishogach, but like this was a whole other low.
See, this is so classic now. So you'd be like losing sleep over breaking the mirror, and then like, you know, the world would be burning down, you know, and like she'd have a million people to get back to and emails and stuff, and then she'd be like, I know, but I'm just so worried about the mirror.
No, literally, right? So anyway, I said it on the radio. So this happened on a Sunday. I went in on the Monday and I was like, I'll have to put this out to the nation. Like, what do you do when you break a mirror? Of course.
Well, you know, anytime I'm having a crisis, I'll always out to the nation.
Out to the nation. So anyway, a fella from actually County Down came back to me right on the radio, and he was like, Louise, don't be worried. This is my County Down accent. I can't actually do it. Don't be worried about breaking the mirror. What you need to do now, go into your bin, take out a little shard of glass, and go and bury it in your garden, and that undoes the 7 years bad luck. I had never known there was an antidote to a broken mirror. Now,
well, geez, that's great to know.
Yeah,
and hopefully now, after burying that actually might also improve your horrendous northern accent. Are you fucking
very bad?
I know, very bad.
Very bad.
Okay.
But anyway, sorry, I didn't bury it, but I got Declan to bury a shard of glass on my behalf. So does that undo my bad luck?
I don't know. Okay. Well, I mean, look, if nothing else, at least Declan, the best boy, is getting a bit of good luck.
Listen, well, Shin and Rod. So that wasn't Shades Road. That was the first bit of, I felt a bad omen. I was like, oh, you know, or is this like, this is the weird way my head works. I was like, or is this like the house telling me out with the old, in with the new?
Oh,
do you know? And I was like, explain for Shin. You know the way I'd be thinking.
Everything is the sign. I would be too, being like, what is pulling tarot cards? What does this mean?
But that was literally me.
100%.
I was like, oh, this room is talking to me. Continue. Like, you know, there's actually a gust of wind.
Oh, absolutely.
But anyway, so then on Dagger Rod I was Imahis, the seomra that we were doing up, and I was like, do you know what this room needs now? It needs a bit of character. So chuig mé ar done deal, right? Agus ceannig mé piano.
Louise Candlin, you can't even play fucking scale on the piano.
No, nothing, right? Like, but in my head, my God. And also like, it is a tiny, small new build. Like, it does not need a big, gigantic fucking whopper of a piano.
Oh my God.
But I got this notion.
Yeah, of
course.
I'm
like a dog with a bone. And I was like, fucking, I'm going to ring this man on Done Deal, right? So this fella anyway from Cashel, I'm on the phone and I'm like, Mick, you're selling the piano for awful cheap anyway. He's like, my grandmother my mother, God rest her, I think was dead, and he was cleaning out the house. He'd no idea, was it in tune? I was like, I wouldn't fucking know if it's in tune myself. Like, but I have a van and I can drop it to you on Tuesday for €200. So I was like, I'll add Mel Steinbeck for €200. There's something wrong here.
That's the style of it.
Anyway, Honig and piano, right? So then all of a sudden we had a blank white wall, modern room with a €200 Done Deal piano in it. And I was like, okay, I'll get the niche. Like, what's next? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I found myself, and you are right, I love decorating, I love all this.
Yeah.
I found myself constantly coming up against this like creative block. I was like, I do not know
Interesting.
what to do. Leis an seomra. So anyway, this is what is after giving me the little, it's a little spraga to talk about this.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So I would love to hear from people that are like, ag mothú mar seo, Chomh, because I fell into this little pile of like, you know, what does the energies of the room mean, and feng shui and staging rooms, and what colours on what walls equals what the fuck.
Okay.
So anyway, I was doing a deep dive into like the history of decorating and why I couldn't just like choose a colour for the wall.
Yeah.
Why was that such a fucking psychological challenge? Okay. And like, if you look at the history of painting and decorating, cavemen have started. So the dawn of time, we've been marking our territory on where we live, right?
Yeah.
And this is the whole way up. So like, look at pagan Ireland, like anything ritualistic, they were having stone circles, they were decorating spaces, they were hanging cloths of certain colours onto trees. And it was all about ag masú, spás, aigean, chun scéal ancient, chun rud aigean to mark all. It was all had meanings, right? So like, there is a bit of method to the madness of like feeling out the colours and the places and what you put in spaces.
Okay.
This is why I want to ask, first of all, are you a decorator, do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely. I loved like nervy I loved doing all those bits, and I had like a big gallery wall, and I've so much art and stuff that I've collected over the years from different places I lived. So yeah, no, I love decorating. I love curating a space. It's kind of like creating a work of art.
Yeah, completely, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like a space that's like reflective of you and all of those things.
You're curating the vibe.
Listen, the vibe.
Right?
The vibes are back.
The vibes are back.
The vibes
Whether
back.
it be for a fucking cake or a seomra sitting, it's all about curating a vibe. Yeah,
It does. And then I think, anyway, the colours that you choose, like whether or not we consciously choose them, are representing roghnaímid. And this is where I really ended up finding it interesting. Okay,
similar.
So I'm going to cut to the end of my story to work backwards, right?
Okay.
But as the shoot was happening, right, things were happening along the way that I was preparing this room. I kept dressing in the colours I was doing the room up in.
Wild.
Subconsciously, right?
Okay.
And then at the very end, okay, as I was sat doing the shoot, again subconsciously, I was wearing the colours of the room, and whatever this says about me, it was all like I had made like a tricolour room. It was like this
What
Irish,
the fuck?
I swear to God. And certain corners were like glass agus bond, or then it would be like green, white and gold.
Oh my
or
God.
It would be, and like
Accidentally Ireland,
like with Bad Field Day. And I'm here sat in my Aran knit, and all of the accidental colour
Oh my God. Peg Sayers
coincidences
herself.
that were happening around it.
that is wild. Okay, I can't wait. I haven't seen any photos of the house. I obviously you've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, but I haven't seen at least anything from like at all, except for you did mention about the piano, but I haven't, like, you've been very secretive about this little project.
Well, I have, because I think that I'm on a nervíiseach faoi.
I can't wait to go and actually be there myself.
Well, you will be, and I'm really excited for you to be there as well. So anyway, I found this study, by a professor called, I hope I can say her name right, but Vijay Lakshmi, okay?
Oh,
this is the
yeah,
psychological...
Lakshmi, yeah. I know her, I've read her stuff.
Do you know her well?
Yeah, I know her well, yeah.
She did a stint there in...
sound woman,
So she wrote this whole journal about the psychological effects of colour,
Okay.
and how it affects our mood and the atmosphere of rooms that we... decorate, okay? So like the colours that we choose for the spaces that we live in are capable of soothing or irritating, cheering or depressing, charming or boring, welcoming or repelling, okay? And how they link with like chakras, aura and spirituality. Okay, so Elaine Ola's got really our chakras or auras or colours.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to learn. I said that actually at the start of summer. We were supposed to do something about it and we never did. I really want to learn to read auras.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about it. I do know what colour I always surround myself in and like the most if I'm like painting a room or whatever.
Good, because this then would you say it's on das farlat?
Yeah, and that's Farlam, and it's just and it's gloss. I love a gloss, and I love like my bedroom is kind of a sagey green. I love those. I like there's so many different shades of it. In my parents' house they have like a big kind of accent wall that's kind of a deep green, and then even in their sitting room it's a deep green. It looks really nice. They have loads of artwork up against it and it looks really nice. And I love green. Green is my favorite. In the last house I was living in, which is like our own house, like all the walls were like a light grey, and I hated it. But I didn't get to pick the colours. So I just stuck up as much art as possible all around it. But green would be my...
And that's
Farlam, yeah.
So let me tell you about green then. Gloss is associated with your heart chakra.
Oh, gas.
So green is your heart, okay? And the mood that represents. So whether you're drawn to it, like apparently now this, according to on Journal Shaw, Tushgrieve Convention, subconsciously or consciously, right, that your mood or emotion that you're seeking or trying to portray or put out there is love, compassion, healing and balance.
Oh, gorge.
So in the home, greens are always calming and restorative. So maybe it's a space that you can like relax in. It needs to be your little spa hain.
Yeah.
And sage, olive, all of the soft greens.
Yes.
And it's all for your heart. That's your
my
heart
God,
chakra.
That's so similar.
It's
Really
gloss.
similar.
Yeah.
Because I love, like, if I was decorating a room, what I love is the green, and then no more like when I walked in here today, a bit of incense burning, salt lamps, loads of lamps that like soft light that like welcome you in. And like I said, I love clutter everywhere, but I feel like because it's so cozy and lived in and like makes you feel at home, makes me feel at home anyway.
Kate von Gate, Shin and Rod. And that was Rod Ella faoin seomra via the kind of mashu, right? There was no Vog mission nach ravein Cree sa seomra and Marialis nach ravein Tina out. There was no, like literally the heart of the room to me is the fire, right? So there was nothing. In fact, there was like a door, and I was like, okay, kind of a cracking to, I don't know, like, is it like a focal point? But it's more than that. It's like a space, a tall, like, creole, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like a hearty space. So I tried to make a little nook, leis an piano.
Oh, golly.
So I don't know if that's Roddigant, you know, like a subconscious.
Absolutely, though.
I needed there to be like, I couldn't just, and I'm so jealous of the people who can do the minimalistic, like,
I know, so am I.
Very clean lines.
See, that would be Shiva now. She would have, she'd be good for that.
But I couldn't.
I'm not able first,
cluttery heart.
Yes.
There needs to be a little nucleus or rather they can feel.
Yeah. Oh God. And it's similar as well because it needs to be something old like that.
Yeah.
You know, kind of old and that for me now, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe if it wasn't that, it would be like a plant or a rather or
So get
do you know
that.
what I mean?
No, I so get that. Yeah, absolutely.
So Shinna Viasic Foul Manwy. But I'm going to run through the chakras and their colours because I think, and I know we're getting a little carte blanche of Gan Shiva because Shiva would be rolling her eyes.
I know. Absolutely. No,
but,
but as soon as all the things that you described me, other glass, I was like, would really describe all those places, you know.
For you.
For me. Yeah. That's what they give me. Yeah.
And I think it is similar. The Ainiathoig Mashu Spas or Agusoid paint because, like, you know, sometimes we like disregard like the power of colour
to Kevin
and like on Rada Keely and on Da a curm winter I don't know whatever it is the walls of our like rooms and the power it has to transform a space.
Do you know what's funny? Only just when you're talking about this around the same time Grandma should have loads of Kinahim Yellow Dathanna Tig friends of ours had bought a house and we're doing it was the time where do you remember that navy blue was really in fashion? Okay. And they had just got their kitchen done but they had two like feature walls of that navy blue. And I actually remember walking into the room and I straight away just got the ick. I was like, this colour, not working for me. And it was really in fashion. Yeah. And it was really in fashion. And it was the gold and that navy blue.
Yeah.
And it really, I was like, I can't actually be around this. No.
Yeah. Isn't that so funny?
Be around it. And at the time, I actually had this old bookshelf. It was a shabby old bookshelf that I had painted that kind of navy blue, but it was different when it was like a shabby, like like a bit of furniture, and like a different, like when it was in the wall, like it was a very dominating thing.
Yeah.
And I actually just remember the feeling being like, oh my God, I just really like aversion to the colour.
Yeah. Well, Vian Fwyn of.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Fwynniv, straight away. Yeah.
So will I tell you about blue?
Yeah, go on.
Blue is one of the colours that is not like recommended. You shouldn't paint your house blue.
Really?
It's an unhappy colour. So obviously for reasons, but so it's linked to your throat chakra according to this.
Okay.
And the colour is, so there's different shades of blue, like light blues and turquoises. And the emotion and mood that it's linked to is communication, clarity and truth.
Okay.
So like maybe you're, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're so in blues feel tranquil and clean. Certain blues feel tranquil and clean. But too much dark blue can feel cold and make you feel isolated and alone. So Shans Grev Shin on Rod of
I think so. I think so. Yeah. I actually remember having a very visceral reaction, being like, not. And the kitchen was beautiful. I was like, oh my God, it looks so deadly.
Yeah.
But I couldn't live in this.
Isn't that gas?
Similar,
But really ain't him. Like I can't get over how much I have learned about myself, or maybe the 5.5 thugum.
Yeah.
I would say more than anything. So the root chakra anyway is your sit bone, right? And that apparently is linked to the colour red.
Okay.
So dhearthóir is all about like vitality, safety, grounding, passion.
Okay.
Like a red room, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Like, yeah. I don't. I mean,
what
that sounds really. If like you could have maybe one room in the house like red and like those big old plush brown leather couches and like I don't know, like a whiskey room.
It is a bit, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like a room where things are a bit thawna.
Yeah, where you'd keep the drink in there or something. Yeah, funny, isn't it? Yeah.
So it says in your home using red as walls or accents and rugs can bring energy, passion and warmth. I really would associate with passion.
I think so too. But I love those old kind of Persian red rugs. I think they're beautiful. Those old, I think they're really. I love those deep colours in a like they're very regal, aren't they, or something?
Very regal, yeah. And it's saying here for red is best in social spaces. So I suppose
come on,
I'd say sé decor a bheith hí I seomra darog I the éanar.
Yeah, Tasha, Anna confronting.
Yeah, something like that. Pubs are often red, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they can so shield to
actually, yeah, totally.
I mean, is there like you can get a bit naughty in when it's getting red? I don't
know. So any red rooms in your house?
No.
Okay.
No, there's no red. Gaffol.
Okay.
We have to make the red room of
We'll have Declan Hannah painting now
Jamie
red
Dornan.
all weekend.
Yeah, he's hanging up the handcuffs and the bondage material.
Isn't he a great boy?
I think put all the Hurleys in the red room. Okay, Aráiste. Esther, who works on the pod now, said orange was your colour, Esther. So that's actually linked to your sacral chakra. It's the pelvis animals where all the magic happens.
You're proud of it.
And anyone who's craving a bit of Aráiste or is drawn to the orange, right? Creativity, sexuality, sensuality, joy and pleasure. My mother painted our back room in a burnt orange. It was like, it was
so Celtic Tiger.
Déanta.
Oh wow.
But you know what? And she'd a friend, God rest him, who since died, that was an African Moonthor science teacher that gave her these most incredible framed like tapestries. They
gorgeous.
Were like batik art, like this wax art.
Oh, beautiful.
With African prints. And it was just bizarre in this 1970s Irish bungalow. There was an orange room with African prints.
And what was her reasoning behind that? It must have been the height of glamour at the time.
Gafa leis an datin.
Yeah.
She gafa le Aráiste. I mean, what? She was probably in the height of making other kids as well. Like, she's
go on, Coco.
Yeah, but it's kind of just, people would come over to her house and be like, oh my God, that's a very orange room.
Yeah, and she'd be mad for it.
She was like,
Herself and Tom.
It's like the African prince, but like, cool.
Absolutely. I hate like these different shades of beige houses that are exactly the same as like give me something mad. I want to be the woman with the orange room in the middle of Kilcornan.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? Yeah.
Well, it says anyway that oranges are all about sociability, play, inspiration, great for kitchens and studios. So now, but too much orange can be. Oh my God, this is my youth summed up. Too much orange can be overstimulating. The Cantillans.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. You're trying to get the kids to calm down. Just go into that little room there now and relax. Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask you the question though. I'll see, can you guess this one? Your solar plexus chakra then is the network of nerves in your abdomen. That's your tummy, isn't it? Your gut is the solar plexus. So Cain da means I'm
gonna say
solar.
Yeah,
solar now.
Yeah, it's gonna be purple or pink, kind of a purpley pink. No. What is it then?
Yellow, boy.
Yellow.
Yeah. I remember that witch we met at EP told you had a very yellow aura.
Oh my God, she did.
So wait now for this. This is apparently the mood or emotion is all confidence, optimism, personal power. And in your home, yellows are all about brightening and energizing. And but you have to be careful of the type of yellow you use. Too strong a yellow provokes anxiety or agitation.
Okay.
Intí
big time. But that was a real early noughties, 90s colour. The yellow. Yeah. We had a lot of yellow in our house. Do you remember the real colourway of the noughties, I feel, was yellow and blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, really yellow and blue.
Very Mother Teresa.
Yeah, we had a lot of yellow and blue in our house growing up. And like they were like, it wasn't like a light kind of buttercup yellow. Like it was they were strong kind of, like the colour palette of my youth, I think, was magnolia. Magnolia, kind of a baby blue, a strong baby blue, and like a good like yellow.
Yeah.
And that was, I know, severe.
Yeah. But I suppose, are you trying to bring a bit of, I don't know.
Yeah. No, they were very,
sunshine.
No, it wasn't it wasn't that yellow that's on the Revive. It was a bit more toned down than that. But I was in a restaurant recently, actually, that a friend of mine runs in London. Hugh Corcoran, and I went into it, and it's a beautiful, like, it's an award-winning restaurant. It's fucking deadly. It's always booked out, but it's a real kind of hearty country restaurant, and the walls were yellow, which is a really unusual colour for a restaurant in London.
Yeah.
But it was, the woodwork was all kind of old traditional woodwork, and I sat down and like it was kind of terracotta, and it just felt like my youth, like
the
so
nostalgia.
homely, yeah. And I said it to him, I was like, the colour of this really feels like, I don't know, I feel like all my aunts and uncles had kind of those yellowy kitchens and stuff when we were kids.
Tá sin simúil though an ceangal tá ann like the intin, do you know?
Yeah, totally.
Unbeknownst to yourself even.
Yeah.
Agus I bet you grew like mohu or leirt. Did you feel
I felt
a certain
it,
way?
yeah.
Nostalgic, I
Yeah,
suppose.
nostalgic. Yeah, really nostalgic. Yeah.
Cuacht na dána lads. There's something about them anyway. Now, jops agus iachta seachtainna.
It has to be, my yup na seachtainna has got to be walking into that pub on Tuesday morning in Ballinlough and having the whole pub, like not just one or two people, like the whole pub really invested in the whole thing, wanted to make sure I was all right. They wouldn't leave me stuck. I just thought in this day and age when you can really lose faith in humanity, I thought it was a great show of community spirit, especially when it was two dubs, because you know people are suspicious of Dublin people coming in, and they're like, we'll sort these out and we wouldn't see you stuck. And they were, and do you know what else? They all call it loving.
Loving.
And we're just, can we get you a cup of tea, loving? And that lovely kind of like emphasis on the loving.
It's so
you know?
warming.
So
my nana would say petine.
Yeah, petting.
You know.
Yeah, and or even up or another thing they'd say up in kind of north, kind of groin. Groin.
Oh, the
going groin. Yeah.
But there's real thing, it's like a term of endearment.
Yeah,
and you feel
totally.
That connection.
Yeah, but you'd get crater a lot, like come on now, crater in Munster, but in North kind of like a real Mayo Galway Roscommon, like
loving.
Oh yeah, loving. Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah.
And the other side of that scale then is probably the Joch na Seachtainna and ein tribulóir of winning session car. It's a pain in the hole, car trouble.
Oh fuck me, especially when you're like illiterate, like they're like almost the gauge of the god, and what are you talking about? Like I can press start and that's about it. You know what I mean?
I know. True all over, and I've said it Gomininic, I think in transition year, and if it's not happening in your school, it should be teach us how to change a tyre.
Totally.
Do the driving test agus to our skull. Inistún conna stuff a of how to change the water. Do the ruddy
What's the price of getting driving these days? It's a fucking disgrace. Joke. It is, and like for people, whatever about, like it's fine now for us grand middle class educated people, and like for us, anybody coming from a working class area, anybody who's moved into Ireland, anybody trying to start out here, healthcare workers, all these people who are coming in whose skills we really really need. And like it's costing them an arm and a leg to get driving. It's a fucking joke. And we've the highest insurance rates in all of Europe. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway, more of it now.
Yuck. Right. On a tapa, so we'll do Galuish na Seachtainna, Cúpa Ceann so gum, ag mashu seomra, decorating mashu con.
Good ass.
Dara intí is an gailenéir interior design.
It's malam shin.
Yeah.
So I would say better atmosphere, cruhu atmosphere, no Dara atmosphere, like creating a vibe. Fuiniv and Fuiniv atá grod on cadele a yearring. Well,
lagan amach on seomra if you're egg. I don't know, like this is a whole other episode, but feng shui and ordnance going through, I don't know, the different pieces of furniture.
Yes.
For, I don't know.
Do you like
guaranteed you shouldn't have your feet, you should have your bed facing with your feet out the door or something.
Really?
That's like a feng shui thing. Your feet shouldn't be facing out the door.
Okay, your feet should be facing out the door. Okay, simul.
Yeah.
Rud Can of Yocha Kohana was like, Snashana Bahan and Gamechon, and Shomer is sheer a dough and a tea. Isn't that nice in the arse of the house? A dough and a tea. So like the old kind of the back room. A dough and a tea, yeah.
But tá back room again. And will back room a good Savale?
The back room, no, I think the back rooms, all that kind of stuff. I think that all went out with the Celtic Tiger when the extensions. People started. I live was brought up.
But no, not an extension. Like we would say, I don't have a kitchen where you could eat. Like our kitchen, Savale, in the little bungalow I grew up in. Like there's no island or anything like that. It's just a kitchen.
Okay.
So there's like the kitchen, and then there's the back kitchen, and the back kitchen was the back room, was where we ate.
Oh, right.
And it was also kind of like, I suppose it was like a living room, but it was the room leis
on room.
Not even. Do you know what it was? It was the room where all the grinds, the Irish grinds.
Oh, God.
So it was always out of bounds midweek. Mom would be at Moona, and we'd all be like, "You can't even eat in the back room."
Oh, really?
That was in back room doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, we used to have a big thing in the cities, especially like obviously smaller houses, the 3-bed semi-Ds, like all over Dublin. But then when the Celtic Tiger came, extensions, and the next thing people were getting kitchen extension, all open planned. So our kitchen at home is like it's a kitchen, and then it used to like what used to be the dining room is like incorporated into it, and it's like the area where like the table and chairs are and like a few bookshelves.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So we'll have to get us on Grand Design Home of the Year. Okay, can one element include anyway? I'm going to say Balúcháin Alíana.
Oh, knocked
for our little gallery walls.
Yeah, I must actually show you Canig me piece of Alíana dom héna gormar lobberhead. Yeah, I'll show it to you after.
Do.
Yeah, Alíon Tóir go really, really malam gomor Paddy Critchley. He's fucking deadly. Yeah, smaller stuff.
Canig me cúpla mío hinna go muid show just Canig me being artsy. So it's like etitá and just the actually alien on so but like agus so you have to be cormac and cannot really like horror. I suppose if you're getting something from a famous painter. I'm obsessed with Andy Warhol and have been since I was in Leaving Cert. I did a project on him, Alien, the Nora test, and I bought this Andy Warhol print of like this stunning. It's a sketch of like two gay men. One is like licking the other's neck from behind, and it's just beautiful. Agus anyway, can't maybe shake hossock, but it's a print. Like it's just a print, but there are like maybe 150 of these prints in the world. Beautiful. But they grow in value obviously over the years. But kai do like certificates like a or the orange low. So it's a bit of like
it's a bit of work.
Wheeler dealer to get them, but I'm delighted leis. So just kai me now éagsúla jacket from a das.
I was going to you get need to get it properly.
Oh, it has to be. Because the rather and it's actually a poster. It's a print of a poster.
Yeah.
But just as bralum and alien there.
Alcohol like okay. Let's do more leis
what's in a rod lads? No, the dermot go Willamwood. Go on Fishon Omlon her fall. Will a coon of Brad, eh?
Well, as surely at this stage now you've got to the end of the episode.
Exactly.
You might have figured it out.
Tom with their Patreon, come on.
Yeah, and
leave comments as well.
Please. We're so lonely, Don Shiva. You know, we need a third voice in this little.
The colours you're drawn to and how your chakras feel.
Big time.
If you're like Esther, you need an orangey ride.
No.
Who doesn't?
An orange man. She wants an orange man.
No.
I'm only joking. Imagine.
You can't become an orange man this time.
No, with the lambe drum.
But there you go.
Anyway, Cíimi Jibin Tachtan Schuin, Gurmila Mahagav.
Gurmila Mahagav, Fát Ireland for sponsoring this episode. Slán!